What's up, everyone? Well, welcome to Voice Podcast. I'm your host for today, Charles, and I want to I have the chance to introduce someone that has been pretty much well known in the 805 community. He's an artist. So if you don't know about him, I don't know what kind of activities you might be doing, but he's pretty well known. But the biggest thing that I respect about this guy is I've seen him around making some noise, not just for his music and the way he operates his business, but also because of how he chooses to impact the community. And that's one of the things that I think that I was really intrigued about too, next to his music and how he came up. But he's been at this thing for how long now?
I would say my first official release to the world was 2012.
2012? So that's like 11 years.
Yeah, that's like 10 years in.
10 years in. Well, thank you for coming in here, Young Quik.
Thank you.
So we have Young Quiks here on the podcast. So it's an honor to have you in here.
No, thank you for inviting me, man.
Yeah, no, it's a pleasure. I got to meet you at least one time, but I followed you for a while now. I was like, dude, I got to get this guy on the podcast once I'm back on. I just want to hear your story. There's a few things that I'm really interested in, that how you operate or how you strategically go about social media. So and I think those are some interesting things. I've seen you being on the news a couple of times as well.
Yeah, a couple of times. Yeah,
right.
Surprisingly, all the times that I've been in the news has been for something good. Not bad.
That's good.
Not going to jail. Not no high speed chase.
For sure. See, that to me, I was like, oh, dude, that's respectful. You know, like a lot of artists, you know, I feel like they don't have the I guess direction or branding to represent that, and I'm sure that they're doing good, but I just feel like, you know, more artists need to showcase how they're operating or how they're moving from lifestyle, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think growing up, I didn't think that that's what I would come out on the news for. Yeah. But now that I think about it, even my first actual national TV appearance, bro, I came out. It was giving out toys, and this was like in 2010, 2011.
Love that though.
And look at me, you know, the 10, 11 years later, I'm still doing the same thing.
I think the last time we spoke, you were doing a toy drive.
Yeah, that's where I met you. I met you at World Gym because they were actually helping me out with some toys and some donations. So I went to go pick them up, and I saw you right there.
That's right. Shout out to World Gym. You know?
Yes, sir.
So one of the things that I wanted to talk about as well as in here is because in Voiced Podcast or Voice Now, right, we feature a bunch of creators and leaders who represent values that I feel that would help out potential other people that are trying to create and make some noise for themselves, or business owners are trying to create and put themselves out there. And I think for you, not only do you have the talent, right, and the team now after doing it for a couple of years, but also I think you have values or core foundation principles that I would like to say that I think I would love to hear about. So before getting started, can we let's for anybody who hasn't heard about you, let's get a little bit of background about who you are and what you do and how you got started in the industry.
My real name is Arnoldo Torres, man. My parents actually came here legally. Long story short, I everything that you could think of, you could go through, I probably went through it. I did graduate high school. I like to say that all the time. I graduated high school. I tried college. It wasn't for me. I've had my first song on the radio since I was 18 years old, bro.
Nice.
18 years old. So, you know, like, a lot of people thought my life was going to change then, you know? And I was like, man, like, if I would have thought, I think if my mentality was different, then I would have probably gave up by now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, you know, like, we're still here. I'm bilingual. I'm a bilingual recording artist. That's what I try to specialize in, and I try to be very fluent in both languages as far as my music. Nice. Because I'm trying to make it as relatable as I can. So, I try not to say I didn't cuss in my music till I was 18 years old. I don't know, for some reason a lot of my mind's been all over the place. I've been in clubs since I was 16, so now I'm like over all that stuff too, you know.
Nice.
So it's just I've been working for a while, trying to make it happen, trying to show people that just don't give up and you can get to where you want to.
For sure. And I appreciate you for sharing that, especially with your background and what transitioned you into becoming who you are now, and mentioning even the fact that you didn't quit, which we're going to dive into a little bit. So as far as like becoming an artist, what made you decide that, hey, you know what, I'm going to start recording music for myself? For a lot of people, they don't decide to start creating music because, you know, they needed a creative outlet. Yeah. Or maybe at some point, right, you have influences like, especially in the rap, hip-hop underground, right? They want to be like those people and make money. But like for you, what was it that drove you to decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to start making music and continue with it?
Well, the story is that my mom sent me to a camp before I entered high school, and every night you had to perform in front of 3,000 students.
Nice.
You had to do, whether it was dancing, poetry, whatever it was, you had to do it in front of everybody every night from Monday to Friday. I was there for 5 days, and one night it was poetry. So that's how it started. But then when I actually started high school, how can I say, we weren't fortunate enough to be able to afford a computer or stuff like that. So I just kept writing. Since that camp, I kept writing poetry. Then it turned into like, my first fans were girls that I used to talk to on the phone and read my poems to. You know what I'm saying? Those were my first fans. Then it went from that to people being like, hey, can you write me a poem? I'll pay you for my girlfriend. Then it turned into that. So then I said, okay, I could do something. You know, this is actually something. Then when in high school, eventually you meet a friend, and his dad was a DJ. So he invited me over. We recorded straight into a CD. That was my first experience recording. You couldn't mess up.
Right.
You had to just rap, you know, and from then on, and it just eventually turned into what it is now. But I would say it was the camp. I think it took all the butterflies out my stomach, and it showed me that you could do it, because every time that I did something, whether it was dancing or something in front of these 3,000 students, I got a reaction.
For sure.
So I think that feeling that I felt, that's what I've been chasing ever since, you know?
And you know what's crazy is because we get a bunch of other creators in here. I always ask them, like, hey, what was that feeling that you felt when you started to create something out of nothing? Like the other day I had a videographer, and we were talking about when was the first time you started to create you decided that, hey, videography is a thing that you want to do. Yeah. For him, it was just the emotion of actually creating something and then seeing it from the beginning to start. When you start creating poems for yourself, and then other people wanted you to create something like that, what was I don't know if you can recall, but what was the emotion that you felt that, like, you know, being able to create for somebody else?
Well, I think if especially when it was like for me to be able to write it for somebody else, the fact that you could still make somebody happy, or at that time it seemed like they were happy, like their little girlfriend or whatever it was. Right. If I could make somebody happy, if I could make somebody happy through somebody else, you know what I'm saying? Then I feel like, you know, it made me feel good, and it made me feel like it was worth something, and I was worth something. So I said, oh, I could do this. This is easy work. But I knew that it was. Even to this day, I always know that there's more. I've never been able to settle, bro. Like, for sure, I'm always like, there's more.
I could tell based on some of the music I've heard and the lyrics you talk about, you're and even your posts on social media, you're a pretty you're not only a humble dude, but you're a go-getter.
Man, I have to be, bro. I have to be. You know, like, I personally don't have children yet, but like, you know, I have nephews, nieces, and to me they're like my children. I have a dog now, and to me he's like my child.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, I feel that.
So like, you know, I try to give everybody everything that I can, you know, without them having to ask for it. So I know that if, you know, at the end of the day, I gotta have it in my mind. I don't, you know, that's how I feel. So, you know, even if people might call it pressure or whatever it is, but I just feel like it's my obligation, and that's what I actually signed up for. You know, when I grew up in high school and all this stuff, well, my buddies were always talking about helping our families, you know?
For sure.
And I don't want to say people seem to forget, but it's just, I get it. People, you know, start their own families, you know, they got their own responsibilities, and I got all that too, except I don't have children. Yeah. You know, but I still pay bills. I still, you know, got the same bills as everybody else, but, you know, I just do what I can, and I always got to remind myself, okay, it's not just me, it's them too that are. Right. Even though they might not know that. In my world, in
your world, you understand that. Yeah. Was doing something big for yourself something that you always had in mind for yourself even before you decided becoming an artist?
Well, before being a rapper, I wanted to be a professional soccer player.
Oh, really?
That's why I always wear soccer jerseys.
Oh, shit. Oh,
video.
Yeah. That's right.
And all the time, if you see me on my posts, I'm always wearing a soccer jersey. So people, if you're wondering, why is he always wearing a soccer jersey? Well, I wanted to be a professional soccer player. And from what I heard, if you know me from my Arnoldo Torres days when I was a kid, the story is that I was very damn good and I was on my way. So, you know, I guess routes, you know, I switched routes. And
you don't play soccer no more?
Nah, I stopped once I started doing music. I stopped.
Music, okay. We got to get someone to sponsor you, make you some soccer jerseys.
Yeah, my own soccer jersey, huh? Yeah, Adidas, what up? Adidas LA. Nah, just play.
That's cool, man. Well, okay, so then when you started to experience, started getting more traction while becoming an artist, when did you realize that this was something that you wanted to make a profession out of?
Well, man, how can I say this, Charles? My first performance, big performance, was at 17 years old at the University of Reno in front of 7,000 people. I opened up for Nelly.
Nice.
I didn't even have a song out.
Yeah.
I didn't even have a single out. So imagine what goes through my mind while I'm going over there. Everybody's screaming. They don't even know my name. It just makes you feel like it's realistic, you know?
Yeah.
So I felt like ever since then, that was my first time talking, my first experience talking on the radio too. Everything happened all at once for me. So I felt like ever since then, I was like, okay, I could actually do this because look, Nelly's the headliner. I'm coming out, a 17-year-old kid from Oxnard, you know, so I knew it was possible, you know.
That's pretty cool, man. I think for us here, especially in the 805, especially in Oxnard, I feel like we give a lot of love to people who do things if you're from the Oxnard.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've always felt like for example, I mean, or vice versa, the other way, right? If you slander Oxnard,
yeah, exactly, like the comedian not too long ago.
Whitney, whatever her name was, man. But not just her, other people too, you know.
But it's crazy because even I think people don't realize that when you try to put somebody on blast, sometimes it backfires because it made me look her up. I didn't know who she was, but it made me look her up. You know what I'm saying?
That was my thought too.
So
I was like,
it's just like that's why I don't say nothing about nobody. I don't know if you don't notice. I don't post about nothing about the good, the bad, politics, about who's the king of rap. I don't even. You know, I don't because I don't. You know, to me, it's just like, man, I got my own stuff to worry about. I also
feel that's a wise choice because as a marketer, you're creating a space for conversation for all of those other topics.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, especially if you're a brand like yourself, like an artist, music, a rapper, right? Like if you start talking about everything else, you create conversation for a space for everything else.
I might get some eyes on me, but that ain't what, you know, that's the type of eyes I want. You know,
that's cool, man.
Yeah,
hell yeah. And then so then when you started to create music, right? One of the things that I admire the most and that inspired me is that you're willing to give back as well.
Yeah.
Right. You love. How many toy drives have you done?
Ah, man. Okay.
Your last one, you had how many toys that you?
Man, people say I gave out like 5,000 toys. I don't know if I did or if I didn't. I stopped counting after 1,000. You know, it's too much to count. You know, and then I keep them. I live with my brother, which I'm gonna give him a shout out because like, man, we had his garage filled like for like a month, you know, and I'd be like, man, it's like walking on eggshells. You drop one toy, all of them fall. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to my brother. But we probably gave out I would say like 2,000 toys to be safe this past December. But I've been doing this since 2014, bro. People don't know that because I wouldn't come out on the radio for it, and I didn't come out on the news for it. I was just starting small. I would start with 50 toys, just me and my homies.
Interesting.
I would go to the projects, the government homes, literally, and if I saw a kid, I'd be like, hey, man, tell the kids that I got Santa, and my homie, the biggest homie that we had at that time, he'll dress him up as Santa, and here you go, just line them up. That's literally how I started with 50 toys, bro. Okay. And now 2022, we give out like 2,000 toys.
That's legit solid, bro. Shout out to you and your crew
and my friends, and all the people that reach out, man. Shout out to everybody because it seems that every year that I do it, all I do is say, yeah, bro, and I spend some money. I'm not gonna lie to you, I spend some money, but that's all I have to do. Then the rest just comes. It's like God just takes care of me because I don't think about it, bro. This whole I'm not thinking about it now. Now because I'm talking to you. But,
for sure.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm not planning about it. I'm not like I don't worry about it until it's time to do it. And I always be like, oh man, seems impossible. Oh man, I only have 200 toys and it's only like 3 weeks away. Oh man, how am I gonna do this? And then all of a sudden it just happens.
Yeah,
it happens. You know.
Well, I mean, I'm just curious. I know that we're all coming from great intent in here, right? But I mean, I just want to see if I can dive a little deeper on this end. Like, what was it that made you decide that you wanted to start something like this? Like,
I was that kid, bro. That's simple. My mom used to take me to the churches, to the radio stations. Me and my brothers would have to line up. Sometimes you were lucky enough to get a toy. Sometimes you weren't even lucky enough because there was too many kids. So, you know, just the fact that I was that kid. And actually, the beauty of it, that one of the persons, I'm gonna shout him out, Fernando Vargas, which was a professional boxer from our city, the champ. He used to give me toys as a kid. Me and my brothers and my family, and I tell him now that I have his number and everything. I tell him like, bro, like look at, and he's like, he trips out. He always reposts it. He always shares it. He allows me to go on his platform, so I appreciate him, man.
That's pretty badass, man.
That's cool, right?
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
for sure.
360, right?
100%. I think I think the impact that someone has created for you, and for you to feel the same to be able to do that, dude, that's powerful.
And I feel like I'm not even there yet, like as far as like professionally, but 100%. Imagine when I really get there. Imagine,
bro, I can't wait.
Like I'd be like, man, I could do like a whole fair. I could throw, you know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, but that's just me in my world.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I think it's possible. I mean, you know, the impact you're creating, the momentum you're gonna create, and especially, you know, we just slowly transitioning out of the COVID where people had nothing to do.
Yeah,
right?
nah, and I always make sure that it's for the kids. That's why I always do it 13 and under. Like, I don't gain nothing from it. I don't gain a follow from it. I don't gain nothing because these kids are probably not even on social media. You know what I'm saying? I just do it because I was that kid, and I just remember what it felt like getting a little plastic truck, whatever it was.
Right.
You know, I just remember what it felt like. So I'm like, okay, if I could do it, and all I gotta do is call some homies and call my boxer homies that I know now and be like, hey man, let's do this, man.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Thank you. And honestly, bro, like I feel that the way that has impacted you, like I'm a big believer in that it takes one person at a time.
Yeah, and that's the goal, bro.
Right?
That's the goal.
I don't know if you've heard that. Watch that movie. What was that movie where like you pass it on to somebody else?
Even Tupac said it. He said, "I might not change the world, but if I could spark the brain that would change the world," something like that. Within those lines, that's how I feel too. Like,
hey, voice community, thanks for tuning in to this episode. I just want to make a real announcement real quick. If you're looking to amplify your voice, just like what we do here at Voice Podcast, and you want to create your own platform, we actually do have an agency called Orca Media, where we focus on content development, social media strategy, social media development, and overall just part of your marketing strategy and how to amplify your business on social media even more. Social media management, editing, video editing, finding trends, ad management, paid media, whatever you name it, community development. So everything from that point to improve your social media. For anybody who tunes in, who decides to work with us, we're giving a promotion to anybody who signs up from here, up to $250 off. If you're looking to take your brand presence online much more, we'd love to be able to help out. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show.
all I say is, like, when they tell me, what do you want, what do you expect from it, I just hope that one day when I'm not able to do it, one of those kids is 10 times more successful than me and remembers and at least does something similar or even bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's really what I want from it, you know? But besides that,
and I love that. I love that. I think for you on your end, I'm sure you're gonna create more impact in the future someday.
Yeah.
Maybe someone's gonna be like, hey, Young Quik, remember you did this for me, so now I'm doing this project.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Oh
that'd
man,
be cool.
that's where you know that you made something. At least for me, I'd rather have that type of impact than just to go viral and
because I'd be like, man, I don't benefit nothing from pulling out money and putting it in my ear, bro, or even like all these jewelry to me. I mean, they were they were earned. They were this is what I wanted as a kid. The teeth, this is all I wanted as a kid. But now that I got it, it don't mean nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It don't mean nothing to me. It feels better to go see these kids at the classroom or go see them play basketball. That feels way better than going to buy a new chain to me.
Right.
To me, at least.
Yeah. And what now? I got to tap back into when you first started. I think I'm just curious, especially for other people who's looking to create a lifestyle in the music industry for themselves as well. When you started doing your music industry, were you what? I mean, at some point you had to like eat, right? Because you couldn't survive off food.
Yeah.
What did you do to sustain yourself?
I had to make sure that. First of all, you gotta. I would like to give a shout out to the people that were around me then, because they kind of like just showed me the ropes. Like I had Daddy Yankee's publicist was my manager, and she right off the bat made me copyright my music, made me incorporate my own LLC, made me do everything, the stuff that I didn't know what to do as a teenager.
Shit, right?
You know what I'm saying? Right. So ever since then, I kind of knew about ownership. I knew the royalties that I had to collect. So even if it was pennies, we've been getting it from the jump. But besides that, I would say I always had to, like in the beginning, I had to sell tickets, bro. I had to sell tickets like everybody else. I was selling CDs, literally, like burned CDs that I burned at home.
Before the whole Apple Music and Spotify was around, right?
Yeah, no, even if it was, I was still trying to sell CDs because, you know what I'm saying?
I respect that even more.
Even if you go to my website right now, you can still buy CDs.
There you go.
You can still buy CDs.
There you go. Get those CDs, guys.
Yeah. Like if somebody wants it, to me, they're like, how can I say they're like collector's items now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
for sure.
Because we don't make them.
And it's probably going to be way more valuable in the future.
No, and we don't sell them for $10, $20. Like we're selling these CDs like if it's worth something, because to us it's worth something, and we're not gonna do it again. And you know what I'm saying? So I would just say, like, knowing the fact that I had to that in order to make money in this business, I had to own my stuff from the beginning. I think it gave me a head start. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these kids, a lot of these kids that I see, without having to mention none of them, most of them, bro. If you go check their YouTube right now, and you go check in the credits, they might have 1 million views, but it won't even say their artist name on the credits. It's just a whole different artist. Says, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't even own the beat, they don't own the music, whatever. So they're not even getting whatever they're even supposed to get. So I think that's all it is. It's just knowing that you gotta own your stuff, and you do gotta have your corporations and your LLCs to back you up to be legit, and that's about it. You know.
I think that's a wise choice. You had some great mentors for you to be able to do that.
And besides, well, they were professionals, bro.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
I think they were already in the game, and you know they were like, man, well, we gotta.
So you said Daddy Yankee was your
Daddy Yankee's publicist, PR, Maidana Mayweather. Go look her up, guys. Like, well, she's the reason why I ended up coming on Gordo y La Flaca and on Univision and all that.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah, because of her. Like, that lady has power to this day. Like, I went to Daddy Yankee's concert last year, sold out in LA because of her.
What? How did you even get her attention?
Through the internet.
You reached out, or somebody reached out to you?
I think at that time I was rolling with the Lean Like a Cholo dude here from Oxnard. And we had just parted ways. And he had, I think, did something with Daddy Yankee or something like that. And so I think somehow my page and it just crossed paths, and I did end up messaging her, and she responded. I think the fact that I was rolling with him made her take me serious.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, this kid got something going. I just seen this guy at the whatever they were doing, and I was rolling with him, so it made her take me serious. And then she listened to my stuff, and after she heard my stuff, she said, oh, you got something. She flew me out and did the whole shebang.
Damn.
And, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's what I'm saying, like, now, besides the fact that you got to get people's eyes on you, you got to have something good. Because if you don't have something good, like, what are they going to fall back on you? They just looked at your page, but then they skipped.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So having that sense of association helped elevate the perception of how they might see you.
Having the association and having a good product.
There you go. Of course, you can't forget it. You can have a good association, but shitty-ass product,
Yeah,
right?
you know what I'm saying? So I think it was the fact that I had the association, and then she clicked on it, and she said, oh, this product's actually good.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So then, if you mind me asking, after that management, what did that lifestyle look like for you afterwards?
Well, I think everybody thought, like I said, that's when I started my song on the radio. So I think people thought my life was gonna change. But then me being no, because me being how I used to think back then, I got impatient, and actually I got out of the deal. I asked for, you know,
really?
I used to think different, bro. I used to think that my shit didn't stink. You know, I used to think that I had a song on the radio. I had just came out on TV. I felt like I was the shit. You know what I'm saying? Without
I can respect the fact that you're acknowledging that. Even, you know, some people.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt, and they kept telling me like, "Hey, man, how ironic is this? Crazy how God works, bro." She used to tell me, rap in Spanish and we'll blow you up.
Really?
Rap in Spanish.
Really? So you didn't rap Spanish in the beginning?
Nope.
Interesting. I was gonna ask about that.
Everything was in English. And I was so against it. I was like, no, you signed me like this. This is what you got. This is what you get. This is what it is.
And that Latin community.
Because I was so hard trying to prove that a Mexican could do it without having to rap in Spanish. I still think a Mexican could do it without having to rap in Spanish.
So then what made you decide, okay, you know what, I'm going to start
my family, everybody knowing Spanish was my first language. Oh, I think just coming to realization and growing up, obviously, and maturing mentally and being like, man, why don't I want to speak Spanish? That was my first language.
Right.
You know, like if I want my family to bump my stuff, or people that in Mexico, when I'm really in Mexico, they don't know English, man.
Right.
You know, but some people, you know, could pass like 50 Cent in them, you know, but they're not Mexican, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm Mexican. I'm supposed to talk like Mexican, you know?
Okay.
So I guess the fact that I wanted to be more relatable, and I wanted to show people, okay, if 50 Cent could do it in English, watch me do it in Spanish and English combined. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, now
I'm gonna show you that little bit of
I'm dope, but in bilingual, you know?
Is 50 Cent one of your biggest inspiration?
Eminem. I know I mentioned. I know I mentioned 50 Cent, but Eminem, and it's not just because of his lyrical ability. I think it's because of everything he accomplished and the fact that he wasn't African American, and this business is dominated 100%. By African Americans.
Yeah.
So I think if he could do it, I could do it.
I love that. Instead of saying that because he did it and he's different, then I can't do it. You know, some people will think that way.
Yeah.
Right? I think looking at all the possibilities would be better for you to look at and seeing how you could become successful as opposed to deciding for yourself that you can't because somebody else is different.
Even to this day, if I see kids with a bunch of views, bro, all the time, and I'd be like, if I was weak-minded, I would have got discouraged because I'd be like, man, these guys, to me, some of them are cool, some of them aren't dope, whatever, but I'm just like, they make it seem like it's so easy, and it's not that easy, you know? And your life doesn't change even if you get... You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really change, bro. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I've had very good opportunities. I've been on national TV probably like 10 times, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The way I see, and shout out to that.
Yeah,
right?
you know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is that nothing really changes unless you're consistent and you work.
Right.
And you really have some solid product that stands for something.
And a community connection that you can get to,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think the way success works, or at least from how I see it from other people who have made millions and billions, right? From the last connections I haven't gotten there yet, right? But the way I see it is that, like, there's this quote that I said is that the harder you work, the luckier you get. Now, granted, you can't just do hard work, right? You have to work smart.
Yeah.
But the way I see it is that at some point when you keep developing your craft, somebody's going to keep noticing you, and you have to learn how to build connection with them so that you can put yourself and figure out how to position yourself, because you can't build your empire alone.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. To this day, I got a business partner. I got a team, like even Bones that's here with me. He helps me with my stuff. Yeah, like everybody that's around me. At least if you see them with me, they got to do something, because you know I can't do it all myself.
Let's talk about that.
And you know what? How can I say? You know how you were. I forgot what you were mentioning right now, but I wanted to say like the fact that even Daddy Yankee's people noticed me at that time makes me feel like I could do it again. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's possible. That's the hard work and dedication. How you were saying, you know, it's not luck. You know, it's just obviously if you work and you're actually knocking on doors, they're gonna open eventually.
It has to.
Yeah.
Right.
Consistency.
Yeah. I think from that end, I think a lot of people underestimate the ability to consistently work over time so that you can get noticed. It's the way I see it is, I've told to a lot of people too, is that everyone is destined for success, but the time has to catch up. Meaning, within those time frame, you have to put in the effort and work.
Well, I don't know
Right?
if everybody.
Okay,
Because-
see that's the problem. A lot of people aren't willing to do the work.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
Right?
Like some people, like you could tell them, "Hey, do this,"
Right. So
and they still won't do it.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So I also see, conversely, if you do other type of work, right? Like, you know, be lazy, smoke a bunch of weed, party all the fucking time. You're actually pivoting yourself from a different destination from who you're supposed to be in the first place.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no. All those people that were like that, they're out of my life.
Okay. See, I can tell that you're a person who understands your value and the work that it requires to get there.
Yeah, no, because I give everybody credit, bro.
For sure.
Even if you just shared something and it sparked something, I'm gonna mention it, and I'll mention you on a big platform, on the radio, wherever I can, because I feel like, you know, you help me, you know. But like, if you're not willing to help yourself, then I can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this, Quicks. How do you find and distinguish people that are someone that you want to connect with?
I don't think I don't go looking for them.
You don't go look for them, but like, what are things that you like? I not look for, like, you know, oh, this person has this thing. The things that stand out to you in a person right away.
Somebody that could keep their word, bro. Somebody that could, somebody is so small to tell you, like, hey man, I'm gonna get you a pair of socks tomorrow, and they come through with the pair of socks tomorrow. They're good on my book.
Love that.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I was raised, bro. That's how I was raised. So I think
that immediately stands out.
Yeah,
to you,
because I think that's the hardest thing for people nowadays, to value what they say, because everything's easier said than done.
Yes.
And talk is always cheap.
Oh,
like
easy.
I tell the people, you know what I'm saying?
Easy.
So I think that's the hardest part. So if somebody could prove to you like they value their word and what they say, then it should go a long way.
It's crazy because I get a lot of people. Before, I always want to help everybody, and then at some point I would even get mad at myself for not being able to help them.
Yeah.
And then I realized, like, I had to crawl where they crawl, walk where they walk, and run where they run, right?
Yeah.
So then the other thing is, people reach out to me and say, hey Charles, how do I do this? You know, social media, content creation, marketing, talk to people like this, and how do you set a podcast? I'll set up little pieces of stuff so that they can accomplish it, and then if they don't do that, then I already know, okay, cool, well, when you're ready, come reach out to me, you know?
Let me know, yeah.
So I never over-invest in another person anymore unless they start to do the little task.
Okay.
Like, meet me halfway.
Yeah. I
You
feel
know?
you. I try not to, because as far as, like, I'm an artist, bro, so...
Yeah, no, you're busy, bro.
And I feel like I'm not there yet, and whatever I'm gonna do for another rapper or another artist, they could do for themselves.
sure.
So right off the bat, I don't even get it. As far as other artists, the best I could do is share their stuff, and share my platform.
Yeah.
And probably do a verse.
Yeah.
Or something. But besides that, you know, I ain't gonna sign nobody because I ain't gonna lie to you. I know what people expect. They expect money. They expect their life to change, and I ain't gonna give you this fairy tale like everybody else.
Right.
I'm still working to get
Yeah,
that first.
no, for
You
sure.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though I feel like I look aight and I'm doing aight, it's just like I know there's levels to it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I'm like at level 8 out of level 10. You feel me?
For sure,
I still
for
got
sure.
2 more levels, then we can talk,
I
have
love
this
that.
conversation again. You know what I'm
I
saying?
can tell you playing good video games back
you know
then.
what I'm
right?
saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, so I ain't gonna lie to nobody. So I'm not invested in no, as far as music artists or nothing, I'm not. But I just don't beat around the bush, and I just keep it as real as I can. That's
Cool.
it.
Love
That's
that. Love that. So let's pivot a little bit. Before I even heard about you,
it. Okay.
I would see you. This is the specific thing that you would do. 'Cause I was in social media before I even started my agency. I would see you like my comments on specific accounts, and I was very aware of that.
Okay.
Right. I'm gonna pivot into how you position yourself into a platform. Right. I feel like I don't know. Maybe you had a team on this thing.
No.
Right. So I'm gonna pick your brain a little bit on this one. When you started to create your social media account, what's your thought process behind building your brand?
I don't need to follow nobody because I'm not really interested in that many people's work. I don't need to get caught up in other people's life. Point blank, period.
Cool. You said that.
Point
Mentioned
blank,
earlier.
period.
Love it.
So right off the bat, I don't follow. I always said my following got to be bigger than what I follow. And then I started noticing that a lot of people were following a bunch of people, and then I'm following to gain their following. So I didn't want to do none of that. I never did that. Never been the type to follow and unfollow. So I guess as far as what I saw that would work for me, because I'm not the type, I don't know, I'm not attracted to a lot of things. Like, I'm not attracted to like the half women on the internet. So I'm not out there liking a bunch of the half women. Like, I see it, but I'm not attracted to it. So whatever. So I didn't want to look like that. I know it might work for some people. I felt like my strategy as far as to get people's attention, because I know I have a good product, like I told you before,
sure.
and it worked for me before.
Right.
I just said I gotta get these people's eyes on my page
your
somehow.
page.
So my whole thing, instead of liking people's pictures all day or liking people random shit that I don't even like, I'm just gonna like people's comments. And
Love that.
for some reason, probably I would say 80% of my following is probably coming from that, because I don't do much.
Interesting.
You know what I'm
Now,
saying?
do you do this or somebody else
No,
does?
I do it.
You do it yourself?
But I don't read none of the comments. I don't read none of the comments. I don't really see. It's just me. When I open my phone, like right now I haven't opened it, but when I do open it, if I do go on Instagram, it's probably for me to just go like some comments. I don't really care what's going on, bro.
It's funny because when I talk to business owners, doing what you do or even replying to them, right, is part of the engagement strategy we talked about. Because
And they don't want it?
Well, it's not that, but it's like we don't consider it.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
Before you cut you off, I've given that advice to a couple people, and I shit you not.
They won't do it.
I've seen them glow up.
There we
from
go.
like 1,000 to like 15,000, and if they were here, they would tell you themselves.
Interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And there's another. I mean, you can't just do that all day, because obviously
have to
Instagram
post
will stop
something.
you. You have to post. Like I said, you have to have something good, but you have to engage. Like, I respond to every comment. When
Yes.
somebody leaves me a comment, I respond, because they already invested their time to leave me a comment. Even if it's an emoji, I just respond. You know, so that's another thing. And I like all the comments that they leave me to on my page. That's all I really do. I don't know if it's gonna work for you, but the people that I have advice to, as far as, hey, you want to grow, you don't want to like people's posts all day, you don't want to go on random guys or girls pages and like their posts. Just how many people you follow? 100. All right, the 100 people, check who gets the most comments and go like their comments, as long as they're real comments. Because there's spam, there's robots.
For sure.
You're not gonna gain nothing from that.
Yeah.
So it's a strategy to it too, you know.
So I gotta ask, as a marketer myself and someone who teaches this or even does it for other businesses.
We're gonna give these guys the whole game right now.
Yeah,
All these
yeah.
people are gonna go to 10,000 followers instantly.
How many hours a day do you do this?
Man,
Or a week even?
I don't know, because my phone tells me sometimes I'm like 4 hours on there.
4 hours in there? Okay.
So I mean, but fuck, 4 hours of like I don't know. Because I only follow less than 100 people, bro. So like I think as far as like the comments that I see, that's what I like is the people that I follow. Whatever shows up on my thing.
So whoever's in there.
Yeah, but
and
I
you
was
start
about
seeing-
like 4 hours.
It's pretty strategic, man.
Is it?
No, I no. The way I see it, because like you're following people who is a what I would say
Yeah, and all the people
platform of value.
And I was gonna tell you, all the people that I follow, they follow me. If they don't follow me, they're getting kicked out. Yeah, because like I only follow my mom, my sister, like people that have been in my life for like like it's crazy, bro. Like I don't even follow my girlfriend. Like she knows. I'm sorry, baby. I still love you. Like it's the truth. The truth of it is the truth of it, bro. Because certain things, it's just I
love that. Talk about really creating value for your own platform. Because for me, the biggest thing when I teach with social media businesses and their social media is that you need to start to create your business into a platform rather than just creating posts about your products and services to the point where people want to collaborate and be a part of your platform.
Yeah. Trust me. Like I'm a rapper, but now I get hired to go eat at places. I get hired to go just visit places and just check out places. Like it's different, Like a lot of times I be telling my friends, "Hey man, meet me over here." Be like, "What? You gonna rap?" Nah, I don't gotta rap no more. I don't gotta rap no more, But I do, But it's So yeah, you just gotta build something that's real. It gotta be real, man. You gotta be a real person. You gotta have some, like I said, like a good product. And by product, I guess I mean a good how can I say a good, because I want to say like I'm the biggest, because I'm not, bro. Like I told you, I don't have millions of views or nothing, but it's real. What I do have is real,
authentic.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess you just gotta be authentic in what you do.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that people miss out on is that you have to humanize social media. And then create that authenticity, and that's when people start to notice you for who you are. And then for a lot of businesses, they expect to just post and get traffic. No, like you have to actually engage with them, and not just businesses, but other creators, artists, people who want to become influencers. Like you can't just post. Like you actually have to create a community, which is what I've been trying to get to invite you here about, is the community you've built over the years, right? And it's communities built not just through your I guess talking to people, but it's how you treat people and who you are, right? And then for you've been serving the community, whether it's your toy drive, and you've been collaborating with other people as well.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's just how can I say? Because I there's been times I couldn't help, like even this past time in Christmas.
Right.
Besides the Christmas thing, I went to Pacifica and I went to go visit the special kids, man. And I took Santa, I took them pizza, I took them all a gift. But I still felt bad in the process of all that because another school had reached out and I couldn't do it. And so the fact that I'm still limited motivates me to want to grow. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to say yes to everybody.
Yes.
I want to say yes, but I can't, and I have a hard time saying no. So sometimes I just have to say no.
Well,
and I'll be
thanks
like,
for saying yes to this podcast.
No, but you know what I'm saying. So I was just like, man, like I think the community just knows that I try. And they know that where my heart is, and they know that no matter what, I'm sure the kids right now, if they are talking about it, which I doubt, but if they are talking about it, they know Quicks is gonna come through at the end of the year.
Love that,
because I have to. In my
it's
heart,
your reputation too, right?
And in my world, I have to. Nobody's forcing me. Nobody has a gun to my head. And if nobody helps me, I'm gonna do it myself. Trust me, I have to. That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
But it's just I just think that the community knows that I try and that I do it without expecting nothing in return, because sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, why does he do it, or whatever, or you see other people do it and you might wonder. So I just think it's just they know that I try, and even if I can't, I'm still trying,
For sure.
Even if I can't, I'm still trying at the end of the day, because there's more that I want to do. I don't just want to give out toys, man. I wish I could do haircuts. I wish I could do backpacks. I wish I could give all the kids shoes, because I know what it was like, but it's just one thing at a time, and there's levels to it, like I say. So if people just know, like, hey, Quick's coming through for Christmas, then at least I got you on that,
Love that. Yeah. Love that. And I respect that about you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Cool, man. Well, we've shared a lot about you in here. Let's talk about some of the things that you're working on right now. I mean, this we're recording this midway through February.
Okay.
And by the time it's out, maybe around end of March or maybe mid-April, depending on the amount of production we're doing. let's talk about some of the work that you're doing right now and things that you're excited for.
Well, I'm excited right now because I have my latest single is produced by Eric Sermon. Eric Sermon is from the legendary hip hop group EPMD. Nice. If you guys don't know who they are, go look them up. They are like living legends, bro.
Love that.
They produce everybody from Mary J. Blige to Redman, Method Man. Yeah, so it's like a big deal.
How'd you meet this guy?
The internet.
See that? Having a platform, guys, again and again.
See, I probably liked his comment somewhere. He clicked on my page, and I swear to God, he started leaving me comments. He asked me for my number in the comment.
Wow.
And he had the blue check mark and everything. I had to Google him, make sure it was the real deal. Make sure I was like, who's this guy? You know? He was a real deal. I already met him a few times. You know, I have 2 records produced by him, but I'm excited because like, things like this aren't supposed to happen, you know. Like there's like I said, there's levels to it. Like after him, the only person I could think of is probably Dr. Dre, you know, that I would need, you know, as far as to produce a record or something. So at least that's how I feel in my world, you know. But just
when you get there, please let me know.
Yeah, exactly, right. But just the fact that even a legendary producer like that would even pay attention to me, it all serves as motivation, bro. It just serves as motivation, and it shows me, hey man, anything's possible. Because growing up, his songs were popping, like literally on 106 in Park. I remember they were on 106 in Park, and he was doing it. And not once did me and my homies say like, "Oh, I want to do a record with him," or "I need a record produced by him." But it just shows you how the world works, you know. You know, it's crazy, bro. Because there's stories like that, and I spoke those into existence, you know. And I just be like, okay, well now I'll be like, if he could do it, then like I said, Dr. Dre. Yeah. Dr. Dre, what's up? You're next.
There you go.
Yeah.
Speaking into existence.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking into existence, you know.
All right. Anything else that you're working on that you're excited for?
Yeah. Another quick little story. That I did grow up saying I needed records from. I have a whole project produced by well, he's a legend in my world. Fingers, which he actually produced the Lean Like a Cholo song, the Summer Nights for Little Rob.
Nice.
A lot of the songs that when I was growing up were on the radio and stuff like that.
Dude, it's funny because I don't know if you noticed, I'm Filipino, and a lot of these songs I know now because
popular,
like my circle of influence at the time was mostly Chicano, and dude, I fucked with these songs, bro.
And a lot of these songs, I don't know if people remember, they had the fingers on the track in the beginning of the song. So I have a whole project produced by him, you know, and I'm excited about that because I feel like with him, I have a lot of creative freedom. We do everything from scratch. He makes the beats right there in front of me, and I write everything right there in front of him. And if he don't like it, it won't come out. And so far, he's liked them, so they're coming out, you know.
Cool, man. Can't wait for that one to be released.
Thank you.
Now, as far as this end, you obviously have other sources of diversification when it comes down to income, right?
Of course.
For yourself. How are ways that you're also able to pivot around that as a lifestyle and an artist?
Well, everything's kind of I would say it's attached somehow because I do have my clothing line, and which is YFL, and I created that for people. I mean, for everybody to support, just in case I didn't want my name attached to it. So YFL's not my name. You know, my name is Young Quik.
Gotcha.
So I started YFL, it's Young Fly Lifestyle, and obviously, you know, I have a song called Young Fly Latino. I have it tattooed on me. I have it on my jewelry. So nice. I brand it any way that I can. You know what I'm saying? And it stands for everything. My little sister got a YFL chain because, like, for her, it stands for your family's love. It always stands for something. YFL, and I have my own pre-roll too. It's in my bag somewhere. I have my own pre-roll too, the Quick Stick, and it's all kind of goes hand in hand. Even though I don't promote it as much as far as publicly, because I know that kids are watching, and like I say, you know, I'm over here trying to impact the kids too, right? Kids, so I don't really promote it, but I do have my own cannabis product. It is out. It is available. Quick Stick official. I have the clothing. I host this online game like once a week.
Oh, no way.
It's like a raffle, bro. And proceeds go to a rehab, and then in return, they allow
just make an impact every single time, huh?
So it's crazy, bro, because, you know, like a lot of these things, like I don't ask for them, bro. It just happens. And as long as it makes sense, you know, I'm willing to do it, bro. Like, you know, and a lot of people, for some reason, I don't want to call them up and coming artists, but aspiring artists. they reach out, bro. They reach out, and I do a lot of features, man. Believe it or not, I do probably like 30 to 40 features a year, and you know, like that's how I survive doing features and my brand, my clothing, I have my website. I still sell CDs. You know, now I'm getting side gigs to go eat at places and all this stuff. That. So it's just growing. I'm just like, okay, well, like I got like 5 forms of income. Like I could do 5 more. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
I love that, and that's how it's supposed to be. To be honest, in order for you to, you know, I don't know if you heard it, Millionaire has an average of 7 multiple streams of income.
I'm almost there. Yeah, see, I told you there's like 8. I'm at level 8. There's like 10.
There we go. and that's how it works. And eventually, you know, at some point, I can see you creating other products for
I want to, bro. Like I want to do everything. You know, like.
That's exciting, man.
It's just like I know that I'm limited as far as my reach and I'm growing still, bro. Like I'm still getting followers every day, bro. Every day, without having to follow nobody, without having to do nothing crazy. You won't see me out there. I won't even take off my shirt. You know, like not because I don't want. It's just like there's no need for none of that. I'm trying to show, I guess, that there's a right way, if there is a right way, or I guess my way. You know, but I'm just trying to show people like, hey, man, you don't gotta sell yourself short. You can do it, man. You can do it because my niece is growing up. I got 2 nephews. They're gonna grow up in this crazy world, and I don't want them to one day be like, "Hey, uncle, why you have to do this?" I don't want. I have to do it for money. Like, man, I'm straight.
So
man.
you're interesting. I love the fact that you stick. You don't compromise.
I can't, bro.
I mean, besides, you know, not being that uncle or maybe dad, why you did that. I mean, that seems like a lot of, like, you know, you handle your reputation pretty well.
I think it's just my family and everything, their values and their, you know, even though my mom and my dad are separated, like they're divorced and stuff, like, you know, like I know that I'm sure in their world, in the perfect world, that would, you know, like they would die, you know, married, because that was the right thing to do, right?
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I think the fact, just the way that we were raised, like my mom never had a job, but she never let us go hungry, and she never sold nothing illegal. I've never sold nothing illegal, and I never got hungry. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It's just like I seen somebody do it, so I feel like I can do it.
But it's more sustainable too if you go about that way, because you're not only like, you know, losing your sanity because you're compromising over shit that you don't align with, nor are you doing illegal shit, you know, that in order to, you know.
So I think I just got it from them, as far as like you know, why I am this way, or where did it come from? Probably from them. My mom, the hustle from my mom, and the fact that my dad was the type of dude, like, if I'm gonna get you some socks, if you're a man, I'm gonna go get you the socks. If not, you're not a man. So I think I just combined it both, and that's how I choose to live my life. Some people say I'm crazy. You know?
Hey, man, sometimes you gotta be crazy to go out there, you know.
yeah. That's what people are like. Like, you think about everything.
You have to have a from what I heard of somebody, you have to have a level of delusion.
I just think about everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, what could happen the next day, what's gonna happen after I do this. I think about everything.
For sure. Okay, so then let's pivot a little bit for anybody wanting to reach out or even like look you up. Yeah. Right. Let's drop some links. You know, I'm gonna drop it out here, but I want you to share other things that we might not have.
Well, man, I got 2 links from my actual website, the official YoungQuiks.com, everything's spelled normal, or YoungQuiks.com, everything's spelled normal. And then I'm on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Snapchat. Everything is Young Quiks. If you know how to spell Young and you know how to spell Quiks, you'll find me. And that's probably and where you can find me everywhere, even Facebook.
How did you come up with that name? I
got it in high school, bro.
Interesting.
And the story is, I said this before, it's just we used to battle. Instead of us fighting against the African Americans, this was a thing, Mexicans against the literally it was the Mexicans against African Americans, but we would rap battle.
Okay.
So I would always want to be prepared in my own world, and me and my buddies on PE or break or whatever, because it was in lunchtime when we would have to do it. We would just practice, and they would tell me like, "Damn fool, you're quick. You always remember everything, yo." Because I would try to memorize it. So that's literally they tried everything. They tried to call me Nest Quick. They tried to call me everything that had to do with something quick. And then I was the youngest in the group, because I don't know if you remember, if you were born a certain month, you would start school late or you would start school early. Well, I started school early, so I was the youngest in the class, and that's how I got my name.
It's funny, the way we competed was body blows.
Yeah. See, I don't know what's better. But I never had a fight, like, as far as the African Americans, because of rivalry or whatever. I never had a fight. It was just more we had a rap. And we had a fight, it was over dumb stuff, you know?
It's funny. All right, cool, man. All right, well, for anybody who is aspiring to be like you, or I guess for anybody listeners in here, do you have any last voice that you want to message out?
just work hard, man. If you believe in anything, just believe in yourself, and don't fall for no hype. Don't fall for no hype, because everything that shines isn't gold, and a lot of these things are easier said than done, and a lot of people don't value like what they say, like I said earlier, because that's probably it. I would say anything's possible. I'm still, opening doors, but I feel like, I've done a lot that I never expected to.
Hell yeah. Well, shout out to Young Quiks, man. Thank you for taking the time to go out here. I really appreciate your time, and your boy too for supporting out here.
Sir.
I'm looking forward to see what else you're gonna create. I'm gonna support you however I can when I see you.
Thank you, man.
You've earned my vote.
Appreciate you. I'm gonna keep trying to do stuff, So if I ever have something, I'll invite you.
Bet.
Come
Perfect.
out.
Cool, man. Yeah. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
Really, really appreciate you being up here. For anybody listening in, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next episode.
Hey, voice community, do you know anybody that is looking to brand them and voice themselves out even more? On this voice podcast, we're always looking for more candidates to voice out with interesting stories, powerful stories that are needed to be shared and amplified. We have a candidate list if you're looking to hop on the show, whether through Zoom or in person. We prefer in person because the content is much better, and we'd love to see how we can collaborate. So go ahead and click the link below, and we can potentially include this individual or individuals to be part of the next show.